I'm outside for episode 2 of Knock Knock Northumberland, and I'm here visiting Lucas and Montana, who have just opened the Market Smør downtown Cobourg. Can't wait to go inside. So you came here from Alberta, and was this the vision?
Yes.
Like always, this was like what we see here was, this is what we're gonna do, 100%.
We were renting in Edmonton at the time, so we decided what we were gonna do is give up our rental in Edmonton and go traveling for a few months.
Across Canada. Just seeing friends and family.
And then we came to Ontario, and my parents had just 6 months earlier relocated to Cobourg.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
they retired
how we
here from
found ourselves in Cobourg.
Scarborough. Yeah,
So
we had
they
never
sold
heard of
their-
it.
Right?
We'd never heard of it. We literally came
Really,
with
like
Rome.
growing up in Scarborough, you didn't come down to like the
They-
Cobourg Beach
they had
and
never
like
heard
pick
of
up
Scarborough
chicks
Bluffs.
this way?
I went to Scarborough Bluffs.
Yeah.
And we loved Cobourg. Like, it was right in the summertime, so it's like peak.
Perfect.
My
It
parents-
wasn't like this.
No, my parents
No.
live overlooking the marina, so they're in those condos right
awesome.
overlooking the
Yeah,
marina, which
yeah.
are beautiful. It's
love
a
it.
little 2-bedroom condo,
Yep.
so it was tight.
It was the two of us, our
Two-bedroom
baby,
condo,
and our dog.
our 3-legged
and
dog,
the two
and
of
my
them.
parents in this 1,200 square foot apartment. And we just noticed that everyone was like, hey, it was kind of like a small town feel. Like
Right.
in Alberta, you get that.
Okay.
So we kind of lived in like a 20,000 person town in Cochrane. Now, I wouldn't say it's nearly as friendly as this town
Right.
is, but it was kind of a smaller town. Hey, we kind of knew a few people. It was a nice feeling. And then Cobourg was like that times 1,000.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And they were like, they got to know Rigby, and people were stopping. It's like, oh, we met Rigby with your parents. We're like, this is the coolest. Like,
Right.
hey, where then you go to Toronto and no one even looks at you.
No.
Right. Yeah.
And then what we started noticing is that we're like, hey, there's
You can't get an onion downtown.
because we didn't have a lot of vehicles. Like, we were
Right.
living with my parents and we're kind of mobile
Yeah.
restricted. And we're like, there's nowhere to walk to get groceries. Like, so I had to borrow my parents' car to drive to the grocery store. And we're
Right.
like, this is such a cool little downtown.
Yeah.
Look at all
Yeah.
these spaces. Oh my God, let's be completely naive entrepreneurs.
like-
we'll just start a market.
That's a great idea.
We looked at each other, we're like, you know who can start a market?
We can start a
We
market.
can. So we flew back home and we had a 5-day garage sale.
We literally listed
Sold
our
our
house.
home.
We literally went home, and the day we landed, listed our house.
Yeah.
Sold our cars.
Sold everything inside our house. We literally moved
Created
here
a
with less.
business plan.
Yeah, did a full business plan.
Wow.
wrote
Got
up
a
that,
lawyer.
Got incorporated. Like,
Yeah.
started the process in motion.
So and you did all of that while you were back home.
100%
Yes.
in Alberta.
Yep.
Our business plan was built on the idea that we were a walking grocery store.
Downtown
That the people
market.
in the downtown core
Yep.
can walk to and get their groceries.
Right.
And not a big grocery shop.
Yeah.
They're fresh produce and a few items to get them through to maybe the next big shop.
Absolutely.
If
Right.
that's the way they want to roll. We heard through the grapevine that the beach canteen was up for grabs. We needed an access point to the town, and it just sort of clicked. And
It
we-
was the best opportunity we could have had.
And-
I did a post on this, but if like talking about Northumberland and the community, running that beach. So when we opened it up, it had screens in the window. So we took the screens out, and the intimacy in which you learn and discover your community when you're at a beach canteen, we know the families, we know who's going for violin lessons,
Aw.
whose mom's in the hospital, who's having a baby. Like, people have completely opened up, and they'll just have a coffee and they'll just talk.
Right.
But it was so incredible. And that's what I was saying, like, we would not have been this successful. We're not even open yet, but
Right.
this wouldn't be what it is, and our orders wouldn't be what they are without getting to know the town first.
Right.
It was a huge
Our business,
introduction.
I would say our business plan has changed 3 or 4 times drastically.
Based
since we
on the
moved here,
community.
Because of that.
Based on the feedback.
Yeah.
For us, the most important thing is Rome's life.
Right.
Our son.
Yep.
Is he happy?
Is he happy?
Yeah, that's
because
the-
if he's not
yeah.
happy, then the rest doesn't matter. And if we're not happy, then he's not going to be happy. So
Right.
that, as long as we keep him there, and everything sort of around that, and so far I think we've done a good job at that.
It's so good.
Does he love his time in here, like
He-
with you guys?
you
Like,
know,
obviously I've
He
seen
does
the
little
video.
piggy, yeah,
You
so
know,
he does
like
little piggies
yeah.
at the market.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh.
this little
To the-
piggy went to the market, and
this little piggy went to the market, and this little,
piggy-
and it's
all
a lot
the
of
piggies just go to
people.
the
That's
market.
good.
But you know, one of the best things for me is when he goes down to the beach canteen and the truck, and our team is down there, and all, like, our entire, even the like males that we hired, they crouch down, roam, like, he
Big
knows
hugs.
them all.
He knows them all.
hugs,
He
like,
knows their names.
he goes
Like, it's part
in,
of a
he
big
wants a
family.
smoothie. It's so beautiful watching him in his community, and his world is going to get a lot bigger once we open this place.
Been fortunate enough to draw or have people come to us,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't say we built shit.
Yeah, we're so lucky.
I would say like people have come to us and been like, "Hey,
And-
we're a community. Want to be part of our community?" And we're
Right.
like, "Oh my God, yes, please!"
And
Like,
I've lived across Canada. I've never felt so loved in a community before. And every time we've faced challenges, someone, like, I'll get an email going, "You guys are doing really well. Please keep going. We need you."
or, "Hey, I'm a specialist in this."
Right.
As we're freaking out because we didn't have a
Yeah.
specialist in that, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, I can volunteer some time. I kind of know this.
free."
I've worked
Yeah.
in it 20 years." We're like, "You've done this for 20 years. Like, I'm literally, thank you."
Yeah.
But if we can make sure that the community feels as loved as we were felt when we moved here,
right.
then we'll be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Because if we can make every single person who walks through, like that's why our sign says we're so lucky to have you here. Because like literally, if we can make every single person who comes in here feel the way we felt when we moved here,
Right.
we're done.
Mm.
Aww.
Oh, that's so sweet. And it's so
That's
true.
that's perfect though. What else
Absolutely.
do you need at the end of the day?
Like, we walk down the
We have
street and
friends here
people are
that,
just,
yeah, like we have
Ugh.
friends here that feel like they've been friends for 20 years, and yet
Yeah.
we've had them for
I
a
get
year.
that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's just,
Yeah.
it's,
our people are here.
yeah, what we're kind of banking on in terms of our market and our future in the community is that
Right.
this is a start in this community, that there's a lot of, I mean, we go to the local house parties, everyone's been transplanted in the last 2 years. I would say 80% of the people at these parties are young entrepreneurs.
They're all
Right.
entrepreneurs, which is really bizarre. Yeah.
Or dabbling or have side hustles
Yeah,
with
right,
their
yeah.
full-time job.
Yeah.
They've chosen to be in this community, and it's not necessarily, yeah, sure, it's a little bit of a price thing because you can afford a house here, not in Toronto.
Right.
But it's also, they've chosen to be in a small town.
Right.
And that's what
And-
they want.
For sure, and that's the thing. Like, you can certainly get less expensive homes as you go east or as you go north, but they're choosing here.
Yeah.
Right, which I think is huge. I think they're coming here for a reason, because they've heard of, and as soon as you walk, obviously it's harder to feel maybe in the winter months, but in the summer there's a vibe, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you can
There's
see
a-
it. I like to say the hipster influx.
Totally.
You can see the hipster influx.
Yeah.
And some people consider me a hipster. I'm not going to say negative or positive anything about it. I just think when you see that, when you see the regentrification and you
Right.
see the under 30s, Cobourg was never a town like that. Cobourg was a rural retirement
Yeah,
place.
absolutely. I
It's-
think, and it's changed. So I've been doing this 12 years. I've seen a change from 12 years to today. I've seen a
can
change from
imagine.
5 years to today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even just my customer base, it's a completely different, the
imagine.
demographic. It's
Yeah,
so
who
cool.
are you selling the houses to?
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. You
like
see it more
and
than
it's
anyone.
it's such a cool, like, it's a great balance now. Like before it was a lot of the retirees coming out, which is fantastic, but now we're getting the retirees and the late 20s, early 30s, and I'm like, and that's what will continue to make this grow, and
Yes.
these ideas to open markets, and because the beautiful retirees are coming out to to enjoy it, right? They're not they're not the entrepreneurs anymore thinking like, what can we do to better this, better the community, what store, what shop, whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's been a crazy learning opportunity, and we're so lucky to be here to do it. Family, community, friends that we've made. It's crazy. It's an incredible experience to raise our family here.
Yep, I'm pretty
Yeah.
excited.
Well, I think I speak for everybody that we're all pretty excited that you're here too.
Don't get
It'll
too
be-
excited.
I was gonna-
Yeah.
it'll
We'll
be
see.
a fun-
Oh no,
it'll be a
we're
good learning
damn
opportunity.
excited.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a good learning opportunity. It's
Yeah.
going to be fun. And all we can ask is that the community just keeps telling us what they need.
Well, I can't wait.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much for taking the time with us.
Yeah,
No
thank you so
problem.
much.
Thanks
yeah.
for being here, or
Yeah.
for me being here.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Good times.
exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys got to see the space.
For sure.
Before it's crazy.
Crazy good.